Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
If you're a millionaire from OnlyFans...
Because it's too easy, isn't it?
It is
it's
too
too
easy.
easy just to get your arse cheek out, get the camera. There you go. There you go. £1,000 your way, sorted. Yeah, back in the game. Back in the podcast. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm really well. I'm really enjoying these, actually. I hope people that are
Do you look
I hope
forward
people
to
that
them?
are at home actually like them. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I think I enjoy speaking about things that I can't normally bring up in conversation generally. So when we have these, it's like...
It's like who was I speaking to? Or maybe I was doing one of the little interviews things. I was saying to someone it's like similar to like a little therapy session where you just like, not therapy so much, but just like, you just unload loads of stuff and you're able to let it out. And then the good thing of it as well is that people come and talk to you and they say they've listened to it and then they have like the same opinion or they don't or whatever.
Yeah, it's cool to hear
fun.
For and against, isn't it? I don't see it as like a therapy, but I look forward to it. And people say to me like, oh, like, are you going to make money from it? And I'm just enjoy it. I just think it's fun.
We are not making any money right now, just to let you guys know.
But it's a laugh, isn't it? And I look forward to it. Have we done 4 already, every 2 weeks apart? Just flies.
Yeah, it's good. And they come around quite quick as well. And we go, oh shit, like we're here again.
Yeah.
Got more to do.
So, yeah, the other one will be out tomorrow, but we're the week after your fight now.
You've done that wrong because it won't be tomorrow.
No, so we're recording this now. The next one will come out tomorrow, but we are in this episode a week after your fight with...
yeah.
What was his name?
Richard Larty.
Richard
the Eagle Larty.
Yeah. Big success. Well
Good
done.
fun. Easy night's work, wasn't it?
That was.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Another week in the bubble. The bubble this time was sick.
Was it?
Really good. Really good. Because it was just like chill. So there was like, it was the hotel.
You made it onto no context. You made it onto no context. We've been watching those for
I was so buzzing when that came through because it came up on my phone. It just flashed up saying blah blah blah, like no context and my name is in there. And for a second I thought someone just tagged me in a vid. So I was like, oh yeah, cool. Opened it and I saw me and I was like, yes.
For people that don't know, there's an Instagram page called No Context Sport.
Yeah.
Which is just like memes, isn't it, of like sports people, and you made it on there with Tom, didn't you?
With Tom Little.
That was so good. I was laughing. I had people like messaging me like, Fab's on this. Fab's on this.
I had like mates message me, send it to me, going, you've made it. You're on here. You're on here.
That was so great. It was a good meme as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Because you were talking about...
Because I read the caption and then I sat there for a second going, what did I say that could possibly fit that? Like, what's going on?
That is so...
But, yeah,
you have to go and see it if you haven't seen it.
Shout out to No Context Sport.
Yeah.
I think he actually goes to...
But yeah, easy... Like, I don't want to say easy win, but great win.
Well, it was. It is what it was. The fight itself was easy, yeah. Easy enough anyways. First round was difficult. First round, well, it wasn't difficult. I was annoyed at myself. I started shit. I started slow. I felt really heavy. Weirdly, I've never felt like that before. Got in, I just felt heavy. I felt drained, and I just didn't feel there. But then, after a round, it just disappeared. And I went back to normal.
Yeah.
But
did you see it coming? Did you know it was there?
I didn't know that exactly was there, and it was going to come then. But I knew what I was going to do to get there.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but watching it looked like the jabs beforehand were the ones that got him.
Yeah, they were the ones that set everything up to get there.
When I watched it, I didn't see it at all coming, and then when you watch it back, you see that small... Did you see him do that before?
Yeah, that's why I did it. Because I did it once and I hit him nice and clean, and I watched that little drop and that little sway. So I was like, cool, sting you with another one of those. And when you do that, when you've been hitting the face with something twice in a row, you just automatically think the third one's coming. So I faked it, like fainted it, and then that would make his hands come there in front of his face, and then I went around the side.
Was he okay? Because he was on the floor for a little while.
Yeah, he was okay afterwards. I spoke to him then after in the changing rooms, and he was cool. He was alright. It just takes a bit of time for you to kind of wake up and come back around.
Actually a bit worried for him because he was on the floor for a little while, and they got all the like masks out and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah. It was a weird one. It's weird to be there and just kind of... There's a guy on the floor getting treatment and you're the one that's done that to him. And you're a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, as much as like when I'm in there, when the fight's on, I have no consideration for you whatsoever. But once it's done or I've won or whatever, then that kind of almost like humanity comes back to you of like, oh shit, that is like someone and a human being kind of on the floor, and you've just put them in a certain position. But before and while it's going on, I've got no interest in that whatsoever.
Yeah, I think in that concept, even though it's horrible, you're both consenting, and it's a game.
It's all
isn't
part
it?
of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't like. There's no point where you can go like, oh, that was a bit rough.
There's a risk to that. But after when he got knocked down, I could just see you stood there with Hodge.
He was going over the fight with me. He was going, yeah, so you did that, but shouldn't have really. And I was like, can you shut up? Like, it's done. Like, what's going on?
Everyone who sees you get in that ring, who doesn't know you or Rob, is like, is that Fab's trainer? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what? How the hell is that Fab's trainer?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't understand how, like, boxing is just his life. Like, insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is mental, and he just is always box,
Yeah,
isn't he?
I
And
love
you've
it.
been with him since
forever. See, when I say to people, oh, I've been with him since I started boxing, and people think that means since I started pro. That's no, like since I literally, the first person I walked into the gym and spoke to was him. And I've known him since I was about 12, 13 years
have
old.
you? How did you know him when you were younger? 'Cause you didn't start until you were older, did you?
No, so I never boxed or nothing. I was quite a naughty kid in school. Misbehaved a lot, got in a lot of trouble. I was a bad youth or whatever. And he was part of a program. He was a mentor on a program called Positive Futures.
You guys still run that, don't you, now?
He does.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to do with it, but he still does classes and stuff for it. He still does. Yeah, he still does it to this day. And I was part of that program when I was a lot younger, but we never did boxing. We just did other things like football, and they'd come to your school and do things with you and bits and bobs and whatever else. And they'd just do different things to keep you occupied and not keep you out of trouble.
Yeah,
and
it's
whatever.
class. It's so good.
So that's how I knew him from then. And I had no interest in boxing back then. It was just like football and whatever little games and stuff we were doing. It was just pissing about with a bunch of other kids. And then I got older, obviously matured, whatever else. I was playing football for a bit, but I got some ankle injuries, so I couldn't play football anymore. And I fancied boxing. I just fancied just like challenging myself or just trying something a bit different. So I just messaged him on Facebook, just saying like, I know you've always been into boxing, because he obviously always spoke to me about it.
Did you message him? Did you?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. Saying obviously I know you've been in, you've always been into boxing, or I know you coach at a gym. Where are you? Like, can I come up and just
Crazy.
come give it a go? And he was like, yeah, of course, man, no worries.
He's so like that, isn't he? He's just laid back.
Yeah.
But it's weird because maybe not, but I think he'll always be coaching classes and things like that, even if it's not as much as he is now. If you keep going up and he's making a bit more money and he doesn't need the classes as much, I still think he would miss that environment, wouldn't he? He loves it.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah,
vibes.
he does. That is his thing. He's done it for so long, so many years, and yeah, I don't think there's any way to kind of really get him off it. He just loves doing it, and he just loves boxing. Any opportunity,
Always
padding
doing.
people up. And
Have you ever had anybody else coach you
no,
boxing? Never.
not over a prolonged period of time.
Mad.
Like when I was in Miami,
Yeah.
I was with a guy out there,
Oh yeah.
that guy, and he was cool, but I've not had anyone. I've trained with different people and got little bits and bobs from them, but nothing particularly extensive where they've been like a proper, had some real input on me.
I don't think you'd ever get rid of Rob, even if he wasn't doing that or anything. He'd still be so close to you.
He'd always be there.
You guys are like connected at the hip. But would you consider getting like somebody else in to
Yeah,
add to
we
the
spoke
team?
about that.
Yeah.
He even pushed for it a bit for the last fight, the most recent one.
Yeah.
He even said, "Oh, I feel like we should get so and so in," and I was like, "No, we're good. Like we're cool here." But he's not too arrogant to think, "Oh, I don't need no one else. I can do this all on my own." He understands that we're all learning and we're all still figuring it out, and there's people out there with with more experience than us. So no, like we haven't yet, but there's definitely in the future at some point we will bring someone in just to give us pointers and different directions and ideas and what they do, why they do it, how they use it, whatever else. Because we're still massively learning, and if we get like a big fight, I'm gonna need to know properly how they structure a camp. Like say, quite far down the line, but say like a world title fight, whatever. How to fully prepare, how to cover all bases with it, and things like that. So that's something we would definitely look at.
I don't know, but I feel like with boxing, it's a little bit behind like other top level sports.
You always say this.
Yeah, I can't tell you why. I think, in my opinion, AJ was maybe the first one to like really get on the like S&C and bits like that. Just because boxing's always, in my opinion, been like a chin-ups, sit-ups, run, box.
Yeah,
you're good.
They've always
like
always
old
stepped
school.
over the science of it.
Yeah, and now they're
other than actual the box science.
Yeah, well, they're now introducing, and like boxing science as well. I think that's where he's going to break through, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they're now introducing that sort of side of things where there's big money. You need that 3, 4, 5% extra that it gives you, and it makes a difference. So yeah, it's mad because you can get that in different areas, can't you? Like if you get 1% from a massage therapist and 1% from your osteo and 2% from your S&C and then 10% from a coach, all of a sudden
there's more to your game. Like, and that's something I like. That's something I like because when I first started out, I remember when we had like one of our first like meetings or whatever. Like we was talking about my program, my training or whatever, and you was like, "Why are you not getting massages regularly?" I literally didn't even click in my head. But the reason I think this is with boxing is because with any other sport near on, whatever you go into, there's already a structure there. So if you go into football, if you go into rugby or whatever else, there's already a club. So there's already a set of standards of this is what we do. So you train this many times a day, you see a physio this many times, you eat this food, then blah, 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 blah. That's already laid out. But when you're a boxer, the only thing that's set in stone, and sometimes even isn't, is your fight date. All the only like confirmation agreement thing you have is you are going to turn up on this day and fight then. What you do in between that time, you're left to your complete own devices. Whereas with everything else, with other sports, you're not. You're always there's always someone above you. There's always someone on top of you, pointing you which way to go. So that's why I think with a lot of boxers, they don't do it because one, they don't have the knowledge. They don't know. Like we said in the early days, I didn't know about like real proper S&C work, and I didn't know about how important getting massages was regularly, and even things like dieting properly. Like I wasn't stupid. I knew like a burger and a pizza wasn't good for me, but like getting the right amount of protein in macros and things like that. Like I never knew that, and because no one ever taught that to me. So the thing is with boxing, there's no key structure with it, and because it's such an independent sport, no one's really there trying to give that information for free either. And then a boxer may even turn their nose up at paying an S&C guy because he thinks, hang on, like what do you actually do for me? Or
that's probably one thing that I would try and push on to you, and I think I have in a way, kind of, is I would just keep pushing you to just get in the best people in those fields and just bring them into you. You're already doing it because you already have like massage, you have your osteo, you have S&C.
Yeah, I'm building
like,
it
but as you get higher, you can like look at like nutritionalists, you can look at mental coaching. Like, sounds crazy, but I think they're
it's all yeah. I do think it is just slowly like building blocks, just building. You get a foundation, you just keep adding.
And you find people that fit in as well to your team, don't you? Because there's people that will come and go.
Yeah.
And people that you don't get on with, or they're not as good a quality as you hoped, or so on. So you just move it around. I think that doing some. I've always been interested in doing like, what's the word? When you go and speak to somebody about stuff. When you have a
therapist. Yeah,
I would love to do it.
Inches away from doing that.
But
just
I don't
because
know
I
if
was
you can.
so intrigued.
It's always assumed to me that you should, if you're having like issues, then you should go and see.
Yeah. So I didn't go as far as actually speaking to one, but I really like researched and I wanted to try and find one. And I had no particular problem in my life. There was no issue. I was just really intrigued into
Have you ever had problems with like mental health or?
No, and this is a big topic I wanted to
Yeah.
talk to you about. It was actually in a list of something I put together. With the therapist, that was my wonder, is that I wanted to speak to one and say, look, I'm actually fine. Like, I don't actually have anything I really in particular need to speak to you about. But I guess that's still perfectly acceptable. You're just paying for a service. You're just paying for someone to talk to.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be in a massive crisis of your life or whatever.
It's just maybe a thing that's assumed is that you don't get a therapist unless you're, but you get a PT even if you're not.
This is what I was
overweight,
thinking. You get a massage even if your body doesn't have that much. Like, your arm's not falling off, but you still get a massage. And I think that's the principle of it is the same thing. It's just a form of unloading almost.
I'd be scared that I'd go in and just be like, oh, like I'd want them to be like, this is why you do this, and that's why you go to the gym, and that's why you've chosen this girlfriend, and your parents are like that.
Yeah.
And they'd probably just be like, yeah.
Yeah, no, you sound pretty average, mate. You don't want...
You're actually just normal.
You'd sit there and go, you fucking what? There's something wrong with me. Figure it out.
How much do you think they actually know when they're sat there? Do you think like they're putting the maths together and being like, oh, maybe this is that, or do you reckon they're just like having a chat?
I think they see patterns.
How skilled actually are they, or are they just chatters?
Just waffling. There has to be some level of.
Well, you must be qualified,
yeah,
surely.
Of course. So there's got to be a method to it. I think it is patterns, almost like you'll see someone that's very, I don't know, like extremely self-conscious, and then that relates to a trauma early in their teens or something like that, some sort of being massively embarrassed in front of all your friends, and that clicks to that, and something down the line. That's how I think it probably works, is that they notice those things. Because the things they ask you, they never tell you anything. They always lead you.
Ask.
They go, so where do you think that came from? And they let you explain it to yourself, which is almost an art, I guess.
Yeah, 100% it's an art. But they must know in their head where they're trying to take you. Well, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be able to take you there.
Yeah, of course.
So they must have an idea as they're going, or... I've never done it, so I don't know, but...
I guess for them to do it right, they must already know the answers, but their job is to get you to say the answers yourself, and then you believe it more. Because if you say, whatever, and then they just tell you straight away, they go, yeah, that's because...
This.
Someone punched you in the face when you were 6. And you go, yeah, but nah, it can't be that simple, blah, blah, blah. But if they lead you down the line with it and go, yeah, but that happened, then remember because of this, and how did you then react off that? And then you think about it in your head more, it becomes more kind of realistic to you, and you pay more attention to it, I think. Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I think that a lot of it is probably just a conversation, because even like we said earlier, sat here, we say stuff and then you think about it and you're like, yeah, I do actually feel like that. Or maybe you think, like when I'm driving home, sometimes it's like, actually I said that, but I don't feel that way about it. I just said it because I thought I meant,
it just makes you have a conversation with yourself, doesn't it? Whereas you probably wouldn't more
But
times out of 10.
the biggest problem is that in day-to-day life, everyone just chats shit to each other. Like, it's just like, like, hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine. Like, you're like, it doesn't matter how, like, if you're actually feeling the worst, yeah, I'm good. Or like, oh yeah, how's your day been? Oh, what are you up to today? It's just like shit small talk. Nobody actually chats about anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Like, no one's ever like, no one ever goes like, how you doing? You're right. And someone goes, you know what? I think I'm just having a really bad day. And to be honest, I will admit that if I do that and someone does say that to me, I go, for fuck's sake, here we go.
Just say you're alright, man.
Yeah, literally just fucking... You know what the game is here, mate. I say I'm alright, you say you're alright. Let's just crack on with our days, yeah? Like, I have... Like, unless there's someone I know or care about or whatever, but if you're just having that normal passing by kind of conversation and they go, actually, you know what? I think I'm... Yeah, just a bit down. I'll sit there and go, fuck's sake, here you go. Now I'm in. Like, no.
Yeah, but I actually enjoy that. I want people to answer me honestly. That's why I try and ask people in a different way, because it makes them think about it. Because if you say, are you right? That's like just flat out 99% is like, I'm
all good.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? But if you say, what's been going on? Like, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah,
all
you
of a
have to be a
sudden
bit
they're
more
like,
direct with
yeah.
it, don't you? But I'll only do that with people I actually.
want to hear the
Yeah,
answer.
like, I'm not trying to talk to every
Yeah,
now and
Tom,
then their
Dick and
dog
Harry.
about their day, and I've got stuff to do, mate. Sorry, can't. I'm not an agony aunt. I'm not
Well,
a therapist.
for the most part, I am actually all right most days, but I don't mind not being all right. This is going to get weird.
No, this is a big point, and I want to know exactly what I wrote as well, because it So yeah, my thing was about mental health, and the question I posed was like to you or just in general: do you have really down days? And if you do, how do you deal with them? And I then went off from that to say, well, not to say, but to think, because I'm not very emotional, and in a lot of cases, and like especially with everything that's going on in the world at the moment with like mental health and stuff, I feel very like detached almost, because I cannot relate in the slightest. Like I've had down days, I've been upset, I've had things go wrong in life, blah blah blah, but I can't relate to serious mental health things in the slightest, and I feel like extremely unequipped to have those conversations with people. Like I have and had family members who go through depression and go through anxiety and things like that, and they're just things my head cannot compute. Like I can't comprehend it, I don't get it, and I feel bad in a sense because I can't help them in any way. I don't really, and I'm quite just like a, oh, fuck it, go over it kind of thing person.
Yeah.
I'd never say that to him because that's not the right thing to do. But in my head and in my own person, how I would view things, and I say that to myself when I have problems and stuff going on. I'm just like, fuck it, Fab, just get over it, keep moving, like just keep going. I'm good at doing that, but I can't then. I don't feel like I can help anyone else.
Yeah, I would say that I am probably in the same ship in that, like, okay, let me say it this way. I don't think we fully know why we're not very good at it, but one of my answers might be is that I know from just observing me and you, is that we are very structured. So for me, the days when I feel worst is when I have little to no structure and I'm not training. So I had this conversation with a few people like recently, is like, for me, and this might be why I train so much, is like my training is my first block and it's like a domino. So when I train, it's like the first domino flicked.
Yeah, I get you.
And then I'm going,
and then you're off.
Once I've trained, I'm going to shower, I'm going to look after my body, I'm going to clean my teeth, I'm going to wash. Right, I've washed, now I've got to eat. I've got to eat some food. I'm going to eat, I've just trained. I'm not going to have like shit. I'm going to eat some nice food.
Yeah.
Drink water. Right, now I've got to do some work. I've done my training. But on those days, I'm like the most productive person. But on days, so in lockdown, where I can't get to the gym and I can't train and this and that, I'll be in bed till 10 a.m. Then I get up, like I haven't washed myself. I haven't done my teeth because I'm not seeing anyone. It's like 1 p.m. I've thought about food. Nah, I'm not gonna have
make
food.
Make a quick sandwich, like
nothing. I've had a coffee. It's now 3 p.m. I'm hungry, but I still can't be bothered.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But on those days, that's when I feel the lowest.
Yeah. Same.
So even though I guess we're hard on ourselves, that might be one of the reasons that we never really get that low. Is that we know. Like, I'm aware in myself that I really need to keep going.
See, this is my thing. I'm very self-aware to the fact that I know when I'm in a bad mood and I know when I'm in a bad way, and I'm fine with it. I have no like issue with it. It doesn't make me go, oh my God, I'm in a bad place. I need to be happy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I realise in myself, I go, I'm in a bad place. I'm like, cool, I'll do what I need to do. I need to come away from everything.
Yeah. Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, go.
What I feel like somebody sat on the other side of, or watching this would say is, yeah, but that's not the same. Like, feeling in a bad mood isn't the same, and maybe we just don't get it.
This is the thing. It probably isn't, but I just don't. My head cannot click and get it. I don't understand.
I don't think we need to understand it though. I think we can empathise. I think we can like see that it's. But like, how could we understand it if we've never had it? You know?
Yeah.
So even people that have had it like would struggle to explain it, I assume. I think the biggest thing I could give to somebody like that is just show them the way that I make myself and hope that it helps them. But I wouldn't, yeah.
That's the thing. I'm just not very. The other thing as well, when someone's crying, can't help you. I cannot help you. I can't do anything. I just freeze. I stand there. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like my mum or a close family member and I can give them a hug. And even then, I don't even do anything. I'll just give them a hug and hold them and let them cry out on me. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. But in terms of me saying particularly anything to console you or just helping you in that situation anyway, I can't. I freeze. I'm just like, ugh.
And the worst thing to say is, are you alright? No, I'm not alright, man.
No, I'm fucking not. Can you not see me, you dickhead? What are you on about?
Oh no, are you alright? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Yeah, I'm crap with that as well. I can't remember the last time I cried. The closest I get to crying is if I upset somebody that I love, and then that's when that upsets me. But I can't remember the last time.
No, I can't either.
Which is sad.
I was going to say that, which I'm not saying to be like, can't remember the last time I cried.
Yeah, but that's
fucking double R, didn't I,
just
mate?
boys,
Don't worry about me.
isn't
Yeah.
Should we cry? Should we try and cry? Right, next podcast, we're going to be sat here for an hour.
It's just going to be pure crying.
Just photos of puppies.
Yeah, but the other thing as well, which I find weird in myself, I don't. Well, the thing is, I completely don't struggle with death and the loss of like family members and stuff. Like earlier this year, I lost a family member, and then still, I didn't feel like I felt sad.
Were you close? Were you really close with them?
Yeah, I was close to them as well, but I felt sad, but I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't feel like how I thought I was supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Like I saw my mum and my stepdad and all my family around, and they were all distraught. And with me, I was just like, I don't know. I just like I didn't cry. I didn't do anything particularly. There was no real like really sad day for me or anything. I just cracked on. But I think again, that's to do with the structure of my life. And
I think you still. I mean, everyone deals with it differently, but you still definitely detached because like I think you pull back a little bit and just do what you do day to day. But you weren't as like bubbly and for a little while, you know. So I think you were probably processing and things like that. But
yeah, I guess it's not so much viewable with me. It's not so much external. It's all I internalize it.
But that's sad. I think we should be able to cry.
Yeah, but
sad.
I felt like broken. I felt like, why the fuck don't I feel like I should like I lost someone I was close to. Like, what's going on here? Why am I not? I do feel sad, but I can't feel that. Like, I've had them times where I felt like proper sad and like cried and things like that. And I was like, where is that? Why is that not here?
When you say to me, I can't deal with like criers, I'm the same. I had a couple of our closest friends, both of them are like big criers. They
just fucking tearing
all
up
the time. It's
all the time.
I'm not good with that, but I don't mind it.
But again, they're fine because I can just give them a hug and like, cool.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually trying to help you in some way, like sort that or feel better or anything, I just don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do.
I feel like we shouldn't need to.
Maybe the hug is all they need.
I think the hug.
Maybe the hug is all they need. I hope so, because that's all that's all I've got.
The hug's all I've got for you.
That's all I've got in the locker. So if it doesn't work, you're fucked. To be honest.
Literally, we do you know what we need to do? We need to. There's a couple of people that I want to see because we're now coming out of lockdown. We're 4-5 days off.
Yeah, probably 26ish.
So a couple of people that I need to see, even if it's just across the road. But I really want to get the gang back together.
Yeah, we do need to.
I want to get our gang back together, and I want to see people in the gym.
Yeah, I do. I miss that morning, that like between 9 and 12 o'clock vibe.
Yeah.
Of just everyone's in the gym, but they're all mixing around. You don't have too many long conversations, but everyone's going about their business, and you're having them little off laughs and jokes.
Yeah.
Like I miss that.
Do you know my favourite thing about that like environment of the gym is that you get so many different people, just like so different. You'll have 65-year-old Barbara who's chatting away with 18-year-old Jack who's got tattoos.
Yeah.
And they're like cracking on.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think that's one of the best things about the gym is that like you get so many different people in there and you make friends with like. And I actually find myself enjoying enjoying people that I wouldn't have even spoken to.
Yeah, I'm the same.
You know?
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, there's people in the gym who, if I saw them out or crossed them in normal life, I wouldn't pay them no mind, just because they probably wouldn't. I don't feel like they'd click with me in any way. But it's funny that when you actually spend, like, a prime example is Sam Crimp. Is he's not someone. I love him and he's funny as fuck. But if I saw him out, or I saw him with his mates and I was with mine or whatever else, there'd be no real point where I'd look at him and think, oh, me and him would probably get on pretty well. We'd have a lot of laughs together. We'd have a joke and blah, blah, blah. I'd just look at him and think, oh, no, he's not one of me.
Probably even beyond, like, just first look as well. Like, even if you had one conversation, you might be like,
yeah,
nah, because that first conversation is quite barriered, isn't it?
What we were saying is very fake. It's just like, oh, yeah, I'm good, you're good, yeah.
Yeah. But once you get past that, you see your similarities, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Yeah, you two just love a laugh.
Mate, it's just fucking fun, man. Like, as stupid as it and like obvious as it sounds, it's so much fun to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, and take the piss out of each other. That's all we do.
That whole group.
That's all that little group does. It's just the next joke, the next joke, the next joke, and they're all just hilarious. And then it's funny as well because it's not even like ganging up. It's like everyone gets their even turn.
Yeah.
As well, and it almost goes in a circle on us, and then it comes back around, and it's your turn to get battered, and you're sat there, and everyone's like screaming at you, laughing. You're going, oh shit, how do I fucking get it? And then you just sit there and go, oh yeah, but you fucking did it, and try and like dig back at him. It's so good, but so just like, and I think that's the great thing about our gym as well. There's no it's not too
serious.
Stiff and rigid. It's just like it just flows. It's just cool. Like everyone's there for a laugh and a joke. Like no one's too like up themselves or no one's too.
Grange Fitness and Performance.
GFP. Up in Martlesham. Represent.
Such a good gym, actually. I sometimes just look around, take a video, try and just promote it because it is actually a sick gym.
Yeah.
Just trained today, actually, had a new client in. It's my favourite thing to watch people just build themselves. This sounds random, but when you see somebody not smashing themselves, but just grafting a little bit.
Incrementally, just.
And you can see it coming, and it's the best thing. I think that's why I like the gym.
See the minor improvements, don't you?
It's a slow... When I used to play... So I played a game called RuneScape, which is...
612 ERE 2K6. I still remember my name.
Was that your name?
Yeah. 2K6. Oh, God, I'm so old.
2K6?
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to tell you my username.
No, go on.
No,
I did mine, you do yours.
No, yours is quite cool though, but mine's not cool.
Yeah, I know. It's RuneScape. It's not cool.
No, it is cool.
Now, come on, what
anyway, I was
bitch.
Literally... my name was the Chewits.
As in, like, sweets?
No, I don't know. It was just called the Chewits. Don't know.
It had nothing to do with sweets?
No, we didn't. I shared an account.
What's we? Who's we?
I shared an account with my twin brother.
Oh my God, get it.
Because then we could graft it. My point was...
Would you not argue, like, over, like, don't fucking sell my sword? I wanted that sword, it's my favourite sword, what do you sell it for?
And I would push it a lot, but we would always be, like, grinding it. I really enjoyed that. So I had 97 wood chopping. If you know how long, that's ridiculous. I'd be, like... watching sports and stuff, I'd be like, oh no, I've got to grind on RuneScape, make cannonballs, chop down yew trees, stuff like that. And I'd be... I'm just going to Lumbridge to chop down...
Lummy. I got to teleport to Lummy. Oh,
but anyway, I had to...
So good.
I had to grind it out. And we got 97 wood chopping, which is like that's so many hours, like ridiculous. But... it was always a thing for me. Like, I love a long-term goal where you've got to graft to it. And I think that's why I like the gym, because there's no fast track.
No, yeah, you can't skip it. You have to do every step.
But not even that. So even more, you can't fast track the gym. You can't blitz somebody's 3 years in 1 year.
No.
It's a grind, and of course you can do more and go faster. But to an extent, if you want to be strong, you've got to train.
You just got to keep consistency over. I could bang it out for a month and then I'm well strong. It's not.
And then when you see someone that's like strong and fit, you know that they've done that.
They've put the work in
for ages. Yeah, it's one of the few things that you can't really like cheat.
Can't fake. Well, you can own roids, I guess, but
Yeah, but
You,
even
you was
then,
on them for a while, weren't you?
on the roids. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Disclaimer: Phil's never on roids. It's
I've
just a
never
fun joke
I've never
because it
touched
offends him. That is all. Relax.
Everyone's gonna be like, I knew it. I knew it.
I'm like, I fucking knew it. I told you it's too big.
No, yeah, no. I just going too much. I think So with the gym, you can't cheat it, but with stuff like wealth and money, you can inherit it,
Yeah,
or
of
you can
course.
get it off somebody else. So like,
cheat.
it's
Or
just
you can,
it's just
like,
different.
You can get lucky. I guess.
I found
Win the
out.
lotto.
I found out in the last couple of days that some girls on OnlyFans are making upwards of
He's blood.
30 grand a month.
Yeah, because the world is full of seedy men.
30 grand a month.
Seedy men.
Now, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, because I'm all for it. Love it. If you want to do it, go for it. But I just feel like it's cheating. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
If you're a millionaire from OnlyFans...
Because it's too easy, isn't it?
It is
it's
too
too
easy.
easy just to get your arse cheek out, get the camera. There you go. There you go. £1,000 your way, sorted.
And like, I don't think that they don't deserve it or like anything like that fully by any means.
I
But
get what
if
you
you're
mean.
rich, it's not the same as running a business, or you know.
They would argue the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, and I'm sure it is tough, probably just as much work. But you've just got a nice bum.
See, the thing is, we're gonna stay here for a bit. No, we're gonna stay here for a bit now. The thing I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking with OnlyFans and stuff. Obviously, it is graft.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you have to graft away. Like, imagine some days you'll wake up and you're just like, I'm not in the mood to smash myself out with the fucking. That fucking big dildo in my drawer today.
Oh, not in the mood to smash myself out that dildo.
Yeah, basically, but you're just like, oh, I've got a fucking... Like, you know when you wake up in the morning and you can't bother to go to work?
Yeah,
and
but you would be
can't-
asked for 20 grand to smash yourself out of that dildo.
Yeah, but if you've been doing it for months on end, surely... surely there's a day where you wake up and you just go, oh, fucking hell, I can't be
It would ruin your sex life as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But, shout out to OnlyFans. Like, if you do it, do your thing, innit? I know some girls that do it, and
I don't actually know anyone that does it, but I actually know I do know one.
I support the hustle. Make your money wherever you
You
can.
support them, do you?
I've supported one or two of them.
Oh no, I'm supporting the hustle. I'm supporting
Yeah,
the hustle.
no, just I see I'm seeing them grinding, so I'm like, you know what? Take my £5.
Yeah, so again, it just sits a bit weirdly with me. Like everyone do what you want. If it doesn't affect other people, just do what you want. But it just feels unfair that somebody can make £100 off a
But
photo.
you could do OnlyFans.
No, I couldn't.
You could.
No, I couldn't.
You'd probably smash it as well because you've got a decent physique.
I don't think I could. Here's one
You
reason.
as a person and personality, you know, you couldn't. But
As a male, it's harder as well. It's got to be because guys are just like animals.
do you know what fucked it for me as well?
You're a pro boxer and you don't want to be on OnlyFans now.
There is that. But the thing, like, for serious consideration, well, okay, let's not say serious. But for a second, I was having a conversation with someone, and I was like, maybe I could start on OnlyFans and just like blah blah blah. But then they were like, yeah, you could. They were like, but don't think it's going to be women watching it.
Oh yeah, it's men.
It's gay men.
If you're a guy, yeah.
And that spun me, and I was like, yeah, actually, hang on.
Is that weird? I don't know if that's weird. Like, does that bother you?
No, but the thing is,
Because
That
even
doesn't bother me.
if you
That
put a
doesn't bother
photo
me.
out for women, a gay man can
it doesn't
still
bother
do
me
it.
at all because I don't go fuck. Like, you can, gay man can
As long as your willy's not on me.
Nah. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, a gay man could objectify me, think I'm fit, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the thing with OnlyFans is there's like a messaging part to it where they send you like dirty texts
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. But I can't fake that.
Yeah,
can't.
but you wouldn't fake that. I wouldn't be messaging guys. I'm not into
No,
it.
but they pay to message you, and they pay for you to reply and blah blah blah. So he's like, Carl, what would you do to me? Be honest, mate, absolutely nothing. I'd be the worst.
To be honest, mate, I don't even want to be here.
But Big Barry from Cornwall would message me going, Kai, you're fit. What would you do to me if you came home and found me in oil? I'll be honest, mate. I wouldn't do nothing. I'll give you a towel and I'll be downstairs telling you to clean yourself up, son. I'm fucking not in. Oh, that's the bit to me that spun it. I was out. I was like, you know what?
Big Barry from Cornwall.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Okay, but
That's why I can't do it. And again, that's the other bit to me that I take my hat off to women for, because men can be fucking creeps. And
yeah,
some of the messages I know, some of the messages, well, for one, some of the messages I know women receive on just social media in general,
yeah,
that are not even, like, that aren't even OnlyFans girl, have nothing to do with anything like that, but some geezer just thinks they're fit, so he just messages something mental. Then, to then get to the level of OnlyFans, where someone knows that that's a free zone, you can do what you want there, some of the crap they must get is mental.
If you're putting yourself on OnlyFans and somebody's paying you to send those messages, like, you've kind of put yourself there.
Yeah.
You know? But also, you haven't. You haven't asked for that.
I haven't asked for that much.
Yeah, you haven't asked. So it's like,
where's the line kind of thing?
It's so odd. But again, maybe that's why it's worth that much money. Because I wouldn't want to fucking get those messages.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to deal with them.
Maybe you've changed my mind. Because those girls will get rancid, like,
mate, disgusting, absolutely disgusting, and they have to reply like
like they're interested,
like they love it, like, oh yeah. Really? No, I'm not doing it.
Go on.
No, I was just
what
gonna.
What would you reply?
No, I was just gonna go off on like a. I was gonna give an example, but I was just it's unnecessary. There's no need. There's no need, none whatsoever. I don't need to go into that much detail. What for? Everyone understands what we're talking about. Good. Fine.
Okay, this is a switch, but let's play a game. This is a really interesting game. I can't remember it fully, so if I mess it up, but it's somebody did it to me once, and I was like, what? So have you heard about the game with the train tracks? It's like a mental challenge game. Basically, there's a train track, and it's got a switch on it, right? You've just got to play with it. Don't try and cheat the system. Like, the rules are the rules, okay? The train's on the train tracks. It's got a switch in the middle.
Yep.
And it's driving along, and there's a baby lying in the road.
Yep.
On the train track. And then there's a switch, and on the switch, there's a guy who's been in prison. And you can see the train going. You're near enough to grab the switch, but there's nothing you could do to stop the train. Do you go and hit the switch?
If I hit the switch, what happens?
The train diverts from the track with the baby on to the track with the prisoner on.
So basically, I'm choosing between killing a baby or killing a previous convict.
Yes.
What were they in prison for?
What were they in prison? I don't know. I don't know. They have been in prison. They're a prisoner.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you don't know if you'd hit the switch.
Oh, so
it's up to you. You can either leave it and walk away, or you can hit the switch.
So I could. No, I'm not hitting the switch.
You're not. You're just going to let the baby die.
I'm leaving it. I'm out.
What?
Bro.
That game ended so quickly. It's meant to go on more. I would hit the switch every second. Like, you'd kill a prisoner over somebody that's got a full life ahead of them, in my eyes.
Yeah, but then I'm responsible for that. I've killed that person.
Yeah, but you've effectively killed the baby if you haven't killed the other guy.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Who left the baby on the track? I didn't put the fucking baby there. It's not my problem.
Yeah, but you're able to switch it.
Nah, I'm out.
You're gone.
No.
In your eyes,
the only deciding factor for me in that thing is the only way I can affect that situation is if I hit the thing.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm involved. If I don't hit it, I'm not involved. That's the only way. That's the only way now I'm in the situation.
You've got this all wrong.
No, I haven't.
You're either saving the baby or you're letting the baby die.
Not.
In my head,
no.
I am. Well, anyway, so that's the game. But most people flick the switch to the guy, and what you do is you just keep changing the people on either side, and you quickly find out where, like, your morals lie. It's really weird. So, like, for example, like, if I said, right, there's now 5 babies on that track there, and there's 1 prisoner, would you then hit the switch?
No.
No, because you're not playing. Yeah.
I'm not involved.
So you're going to let the 5 babies die?
Bro, I didn't put them there. That's not me.
This game has not worked. Do you get the idea?
I understand what you mean.
And you just keep manipulating the things either side. to see like where
See what
where
they
your
would
morals
choose
are.
over what.
So now, like on the next one, you make the prisoner really old, and then you're like, well, actually, if he's got none of his life left ahead, I would flip the switch, you know?
Yeah, maybe I'd kill that one.
Okay, yeah. So like, there's a.
No, I wouldn't. I'm
wouldn't,
not
you-
doing it.
you still-
I'm not doing it.
I wasn't there. It wasn't me.
Because I'm just not in. I'm not doing it. Because as soon as I touch the situation in any way, I'm now involved. I've now made a conscious decision to
But
do something.
do you not feel like by deciding not to hit the switch, you've
People
also
always
made...
say that, like, deciding not to make a decision is a decision in itself.
Oh yeah, of course. Well,
I
you've
don't-
decided to let the baby die.
No, I've decided not to kill someone.
Well, yeah, but you've made the decision to let the prisoner live and let the baby die. That's the decision you've made, isn't it? It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's fine then. We all so right. You're a baby
no,
killer.
because you're trying to be a mug.
No, but that's the point.
You're trying to
do.
mug it.
Like, for example, it gets tough for me when you say, like, I don't really know what the answer is if there's 2 prisoners and a baby. I'd probably still go for the prisoners, but I'm not sure.
3 prisoners and a baby.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. I don't know. What if the switch is there and there's like, yeah, it's just, you can change the people and you get it, but it makes you think about what is actually important to you and so on. And so on, so on.
5 prisoners and a baby.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I think I'd let the baby die because I feel like 5 lives is worth more. But then, what are they in prison for again? If there were 5 rapists, I'd kill the rapists and let the baby. So yeah,
5
yeah, no,
money.
it's-
5 money launderers
no, fine, they can live. They can live,
and a baby.
and I'd let the baby die. 5. There's 5 of them. It's 5. I don't know. But
4
yeah.
money launderers, 1 rapist. 4.
No, the rapist is dying.
4. Yeah, but you have to sacrifice 4 money launderers.
Yeah, but the rapist is dying. You can go.
I'll be honest. This is a good game.
Isn't it? It gets weird, and then you can change the way that they do it. So like your thing of like you're not involved. What if I said, right, there's 2 train tracks and you're in the middle, the baby's on the right and the thing's on the left. You can only grab one of them and get them off.
No, I'm grabbing the baby.
Okay,
I'm grabbing-
yeah. So
But
like,
that's-
but you can change it and so on. So like some people flicking the switch would be fine to move the train track, but if you said, right, the baby's on the track now, and the guy is sat on a bridge above it, the prisoner, you've got to push the prisoner off, and it would stop the train, but he would die. Now all of a sudden they wouldn't do it.
That's exactly the same principle as pulling the lever.
Yes, but it's slightly different in the way
The
that you
word
do
in it and
yeah,
the physical act of.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's just
But to me, that's the same thing. So no.
yeah, in my
In a
head, that's the
situation
same
where
thing.
I don't have to make a decision to affect the situation, I am not. If there's a
Yeah, but
if
you
there's a
on the 2
situation,
train tracks, you could not make a decision, and they would both die.
that's what I mean. So in that situation, if
You have to.
I have to, then yeah, I'm grabbing the baby because I haven't then killed a man. I've saved the baby.
Okay. Interesting.
That's how my head works.
Yeah, fair. No, fair. It'll be interesting to see what other people think.
People are
But
thinking I'm a
that's
fucking
cool.
psycho.
I didn't explain it very well, but if you YouTube
No,
it,
I get the principle.
if
I
you
get the
YouTube
principle.
it, you can make it weird as anything. Like, but that's a thing to look at morals and not talk about death and things like that anymore. But when I talk to people about morals, and I had this conversation with my parents the other day. Whenever I have a conversation with my parents about what I think is right and what they think is right, it always gets weird. Do you get that? It always gets weird quickly,
My
or really like horrid.
my me and my family are quite aligned, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, in a lot of things, because we're very almost black and white with a lot of things. Like a lot of things are very simple to us. I have a very open family.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing between us really that's hidden.
Okay, so I'll tell you the main ones that me and my parents disagree on is or where we just slightly differ would be things like that are like slightly controversial. Now I don't want to get into these topics, but stuff like transgenders,
Yep,
my parents like find that stuff very weird.
it's
like,
an
they
older
don't get
generation
it.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Stuff like veganism, they don't like get it. Like animal, like
Like
when people are vegans,
Doing it for the protection of animals. Yeah.
like they get it a little bit, but not as much. And then things with my grandparents are like respect. That's quite a different thing for me compared to them. So let me like
They
explain the
severely
respect one.
their parents, whereas
Yeah, so
you're
in,
it's a bit more
in older
relaxed.
generations, I think it was very seen that like if you're older, you deserve
The
respect, but you don't
automatically.
have to give. Whereas like for me, I will give, but you have to give me respect back. It doesn't matter how old you are, you know, like it's give and take.
Yeah.
And that's weird to my parents and to my grandparents as well. Like they're like, what the hell?
Yeah, them kind of old. Again, I think that has a lot to do with age. It's them old morals of, like the old, because obviously, civilization, I guess, and just
Yeah.
like lives in general have advanced. So there's more information because growing up them days, like they had other problems to worry about. Worried about fucking if there's enough cows on the planet and if the ozone layer and shit like that. They didn't give a fuck about half of that. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They had
So
different
you
things
think as
going
we
on.
get less problems,
I think this.
we just got no problems. Yeah, but no, we haven't got no problems. Like those things are still really meaningful. So like the things that I talked about, like respect's really meaningful. Like obviously for people like transgenders, like things like that, that's so meaningful to those people.
The thing is, I think at their points in their lives, they had bigger problems.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of that period
like
in their
food and
lives,
survival.
there was the wars going on.
Yeah.
World wars. That's a big thing. Like think now. When's the last time you heard someone speak about global warming?
Yeah, but we have.
Because we're too focused on like COVID and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's our big.
No, but we are still focused on we're still focused on like animal welfare. We're still definitely focused on Black Lives Matter. We're still focused.
Yeah, of course.
There's
but
still massive things.
I think the difference is now is the reach that you can reach anyone and anywhere at any point near on. You pick up your phone, you type in hashtag global warming, you can find a million other people that are in the same boat as you. You can talk to them all day, you can share ideas, blah, 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 blah. Whereas back in the day, the only real outlet you're getting is from the news. And the news are only talking about the big things. They're only talking about the war or like this disease, that disease, whatever else. They're not doing a big edit saying, let's get together at 12 on Wednesday to talk about global warming. They don't give a fuck about that. So I think what it is now is that we've got so many different avenues to talk to people that are like-minded that we can come together a lot more now, and we feel more empowered because I feel this way, and I know at least 1,000 other people
that can't be true.
feel the same way with me.
That can't be true because that would be the same for everything the other way as well.
What do you mean?
As in, like, okay, so my point with all of this is that, like, if you think of it as like a political scale, left and right, we tend to trend through generations left. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean trend?
Trend, as in, like, it becomes. Do you know what left and like?
Leftist, right? Vaguely.
Vaguely. So, if you're going more left, it's usually So I'll give you a couple of examples. Left for animal rights would be like give them more rights, do this, do that. It would be like Black Lives Matter, so on, so on. These are all they're not left movements because people on both sides agree with them, but they would be considered more left. It's all about like equality, so on. And through generations, we've moved left. So like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what would be considered left 100 years ago would be so far right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get you.
And so my point is that as we go through history, we're always moving this way. Like it used to be normal to kill each other.
I get you.
know?
In extremes, yeah.
And not that those are like particularly left and right examples, but you get my gist.
Yeah,
like,
I
moving
get
that
what you're
way.
going.
And when I speak to my grandparents, they think that I'm very left. And like I'm like they're super right, you know, the things that they talk about, so on, so on.
Yeah.
And you need to add. There's a film. I can't remember what the film's called, but it's called A Moral Zeitgeist, and that's basically the fact that like through generations we just trend left. So like for us, and you'll probably be like, well, no, because I think like our ideas are pretty left, aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say 40 years, 30 years from now, your kids are grown up. They're gonna be left to what you are.
Yeah, they're going to be more
Crazy like, left. And
further down the line.
I don't know if would be able to move with them or not.
I don't think you will. I just think it's like, because, well, obviously some people can and some people have, but I think on the majority, your views and morals and whatever else have got you through the majority of your life.
Yeah.
To then change those or adjust them is a bit.
I lost what I was saying. You were saying it's because of social media.
I think social media is a big part.
But my argument to that would be, surely social media would be just as heavily, like people on the right would be sharing their ideas as well, you know? Because although you've got all these ideas being shared, you've still got all the other ones, all the opposing ones that are like, all those people are online and they're sharing things, you know? So you would think it would balance it, but it doesn't. It always goes left.
Yeah.
We just move that way. It's a weird thing to think about.
One.
But I was having, like, when I talk to my grandparents, they always baffle me that they haven't moved with me. But when I'm older, I probably won't.
The thing is, they haven't needed to, have they? Because then who do they...
Well, of course you need to.
No, but I mean, like, who do they speak to? Who do they talk to? They just talk to other old people who have similar views to them,
No, of course not. They talk to me. Like, my grandparents talk to me, you talk to your grandkids. But, like, so for example, it would only make the world better if we talked about those things. So, like, I can't even say it. But so my grandma would go into a shop and she would say something which is so racist, but to her, it's not even racist. Yeah, you know, it's just a word that she knows.
This is the thing I was saying. They just spend time around their own generation more so with people. They do obviously talk to you and grandkids and younger people and whatever else, but usually, like we were saying in the beginning, the conversations you have are just very baseline. When do you ever actually sit down with like your grandparents and go, right, so politics, Black Lives Matter, transgender, like you don't. Well, it's in passing, and then you never really want to have the actual conversation about it.
Yeah, I speak to generally middle-aged people most of the day because of my work, and I have those conversations, and I think often make like breakthroughs isn't the right word, but like I'll explain stuff and they'll be like, oh yeah, or they'll explain stuff and then we'll just disagree and like that's fine, whatever. But I would hope that as I get older, I would be able to move with that. The only thing, so I was thinking to myself, what would move that I would be like, that's weird. That's really weird, you know?
Like what then?
This one might get me. If animal rights got to like fish, as in like, wait. So you know the way we feel about dogs.
Explain more.
The way we feel about dogs and cats is like they're emotional. You can't kill a dog. You know, if you kill a dog, you're an absolute animal.
Yeah, of course.
Why is that for them? Why, like, if we felt that way about chickens and cows, and which some people do now, you know, that's going to go all the way to fish, ants.
How far is it going to go?
Plants. Yeah. You know, you can't kill that sunflower. It's got
feelings.
Crazy. Yeah, and I'd be like, I don't know what I'm going to name my son, but I'd be like, bruv, grow up. But that's probably what my grandparents are like to me now. They're like...
That's what I mean.
Come on, Phil.
You've grown up in a thing where, like it's cool. It's the norm.
Just kick over
it's
sunflowers.
Whatever. Yeah. Just fuck them out of the way. You don't give a fuck about that thing.
And your kid would be like,
Dad, what are you doing? Fucking shut up, Tim. Yeah. Give it a rest, mate.
So that one baffled me. And then I thought, well, actually, maybe I am just like my grandparents.
It's just, I do think it's difficult. It's difficult to bring yourself out of a habit that you was in for so long and so many years. Because again, it's almost a bit of ego to admit you was wrong and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe you are right, kind of thing. And I think that's a hard thing for the older generation especially to do, because they're supposed to be older, wiser, know more. They're the ones you're supposed to go to for the answers, kind of thing, and you're supposed to have the respect for them. So for them to admit, almost, I guess it's seen a bit as admitting defeat in a slight scale, that it's a bit like, no, I'm not really going to do that.
Yeah, it gets stubborn, doesn't it?
But to the like dog and things, like in India, like cows are worshipped. They're like, you can't touch them.
And in some Asian countries.
But then here, we're smashing McDonald's every day. Like, what? Like, what are you on about? So it's weird. So literally, like, people in India are looking at us going, you lot are fucking nuts. Like, what are you on? But then obviously it's sad that in wherever it is, they have the dog festival.
Yeah.
And so obviously we're looking at that country going, you lot are fucking sickos. What's going on over there then?
Dogs, yeah.
But then but India's going, yeah, you're fucking sick, mate. You just had 6 burgers today. What are you on about?
Yeah.
So it's just a funny one, isn't it? It's just about different perspectives. Good. Another good one.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Let's finish on that. So let's finish on, are you going to eat the fish?
I don't like fish. So
Dun,
fish is
dun,
so
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun.